Andy Lickers. Pleased to meet you. Nice to know me. What you doing? You're watching a live Q&A with Tony Schiavone, the man, the myth, the legend, the voice of our childhood. How are you, sir?
Let's edit that. No, I'm kidding. That's some inside baseball right there. I'm great. Thanks, everybody, for hopping on here. I know Raw is on right now. You don't want to miss that. And Monday Night Football, so you don't want to miss that. So we're going to be on here for about an hour. Appreciate all of you. It's great being back with you for the first time in about a month. We are going to, Cassie and I, we're talking about doing this probably on a day where there's not wrestling. We don't want to interrupt your wrestling viewing. So this may end up moving to like a Thursday or something like that. Something to where you don't, because we'd like to have more. We've got a good crew here tonight, but, we have a lot more people on. What's the name of the thing we're on? Ad-free shows. Okay. So, yeah, I'll just call it a night because my brain ain't working. No, but we do have a lot of people on ad-free shows that we'd like to see and like to be able to communicate with, because I think we all know, especially those of you who have been with us on WHW, What Happened When, WHW Monday. We've built quite a good friendship, good family. So it's been very, very cool.
We'll get you a date out as soon as possible, everybody. We know also towards the end of the month, a lot of traveling due to the holidays. So we'll figure it out as soon as possible so everybody can make plans and hopefully everybody can attend the next one. With that being said, let's make sure we get everybody in. So let's get cranking. We'll start it off with Mr. Mark Nelson first.
Well, thank you, Cassio. Nice seeing you, Tony. I hope you had a good holiday weekend. I know you were really busy.
Mm-hmm.
Question for you, Tony.
Yeah, Mark.
Of all the Batmans that we've had, I know we just had Conway pass away not too long ago. What was your favorite Batman? And can you talk a little bit about why that was your favorite Batman?
Well, I'm kind of mixed. I really like Christian Bale because I love those movies. I thought those 3 movies were tremendous. But I've been watching the old Adam West ones. It's 120 episodes, 3 seasons. And I've been watching them from the beginning. And there's something about it. Sometimes they get repetitious because just the same old shtick. But it was so freaking hokey. And it's just, so I guess overall Adam West is my favorite Batman. And there's another reason why he's my favorite Batman too, because you know how we're all big into nostalgia, your childhood, what you grew up with. That's what I grew up with. 66, 67, and 68, I think, were the 3 years of the Batman TV show. And then they had a movie in between seasons 1 and 2. And Batman back then was such a big cultural thing. Everybody wanted to be on Batman. Everybody wanted to be a part of the Batman TV shows. They even would have these special guests pop out of the, when they were walking up the side, have these special guests pop out of the window. One of them I just saw was Jerry Lewis. So It was such a big deal, Batman back then. It really has to be Adam West.
I got to meet him 3 weeks before he died at a Comic-Con.
Wow.
And he went through the line on his little scooter and said hello to everybody in line. And there was probably 300 people in line to meet him before he even went and signed. And then Burt Ward just wouldn't shut up about his dog food, but that's another story. But thank you, Tony. I appreciate it. I hope you have a great holiday weekend.
Thanks, Mark. Same to you, buddy. I'm sure I'll be seeing you after the first of the year as we're going out to California for a number of dates. Fresno to come.
I got my tickets for San Francisco.
Yeah, we got San Francisco. We got Fresno. Let's see. We're somewhere else out there. I don't know. Anyway, there you go. L.A.
All right, let's keep it rolling. Where's my boy RJ at?
Cassio, what's up, buddy?
What's up, buddy? Good to see you, man.
Nice to see you too. Tony, hope you had a good Thanksgiving.
It was great. Great.
So we've seen the evolution of Tony Schiavone since WHW started. Not only got in great shape, you got a job with AEW. I'll stick with what I said. You got a great wardrobe. My question is, what are the possibilities of Tony Schiavone bringing back the highlights?
You mean blonding up my hair?
Yes.
I don't think that's going to happen, RJ. I don't know. I think if anything else, it'll get gray, and then it'll have its own highlights in it. So I'm getting some gray streaks right now, as a matter of fact.
Streaks of wisdom, right, Tony?
Yes, if you'd like to say that, RJ, that's very nice of you to say.
Hey, I try. I'm getting them myself, but it's probably the opposite for me. So, but thanks for your time tonight, Tony, and look forward to what you got coming up.
Thanks, RJ. Always good seeing you, buddy. Thank you.
Well, he's one of the highlights, but you got the fresh mullet cut just for this show. Right
Yes,
here.
I did. I got it cut today. As got the number 3 thing cut like Cash Wheeler. Okay.
Wow.
How about it, Megan? What do you think?
I love it. I really do. I know Lori's going to give you shit, but
Yeah,
I
well,
like it.
The old woman that lives in the kitchen.
Yeah, that one.
Give me shit already. I don't like your haircut. I said, so why don't you trim it for me around? She said, nuh-uh, I ain't getting blamed for this shit.
She didn't run her fingers through it. Oh, Tony.
Oh, stop it.
No, that doesn't go on. You look like FTR. It's great.
Thank you.
Oh, I love it. Our next question asker is just like Tony's mullet. Some people love him. A lot of people hate him. It's top guy, Eddie. How you doing, sir?
What's up, Casio? What's up,
buddy?
Tony?
Hey, Eddie.
Tony, I
Eddie?
think I might have to agree with you on Adam West. Movie wise, Michael Keaton, but overall, Adam West, because Batman was big time on reruns when I was growing up. So
Right.
I especially love those stuff when they would do like the boom, pow, all that stuff.
Yes, right. Uh-huh.
Yeah. My question for you tonight is, would you consider your 4 favorite matches of all time that you either announcing or attended as a fan?
All right. Wow. One of my favorite matches, I may have mentioned this on our on one of the podcasts. My favorite match attending was at the Greensboro Coliseum in 1978 when Ric Flair and Greg Valentine faced the Andersons for the World Tag Team Championship and defeated them that day and became World Tag Team Champions. It was one of those matches I'll never forget. It started out, there's a lot of excitement. Back then, there was no, everything was kayfabe. So, we just were all swept up into it. And as the match kept building, the fan excitement got more and more and more and more. And I remember one of my friends, Tommy, turned to me, that I used to hang out with all the time. Tommy turned to me and he said, "This is the greatest goddamn match you've ever seen." And I said, "Hell yeah. And we're going to drink beer on the way home." Just a bunch of rednecks going to a wrestling match. That just stuck with me forever. As one of my favorite matches.
The shocking thing is that the Andersons were actually the baby faces during that time period.
Right. What happened was we got our tickets because the announcement was made that that Greg Valentine and Ric Flair would go after the World Tag Team Championship against Dusty Rhodes and Dick Slater, the new NWA World Tag Team Champions. So we got our tickets thinking that Dusty Rhodes and Dick Slater would be there. And it was always big for us to see somebody that we hadn't seen before, and we had never seen Dick Slater live. Well, apparently they went down to Georgia and switched the titles back then. So the Andersons walked in with the belts, and we were like really pissed off that we didn't get to see Dusty and Slater. But as the match developed and went over, it kept going. It was just spectacular. So that's one. Obviously, Hulk Hogan and Big Boss Man in the cage in Madison Square Garden is one. I think Revolution of 2020, the Young Bucks against Kenny Omega and Hangman Adam Page is another one. That is one of my favorite ones to have called. Probably Ric Flair and Vader from 93, StarCast of 1993 is probably another one. And then I didn't attend it, nor did I go to see it live, but I really think, and I think I'm gonna get this right with the number. Shawn Michaels and Undertaker from WrestleMania 25. Yikes. You're not going to find a better match than that ever. And so those are probably the 5 best matches I've ever seen.
Yeah, both of their matches were great. So
Right.
Casio, thank you for getting me on, and Tony, thank you for answering my question.
Eddie, you're welcome.
All right, let's keep it going. Denovius in the house. What's up, Denovius?
Hey, what's up, Casio?
What's up, man?
Mr. Shivani, I still get started when I talk to you, believe it or not, man. I don't know why. It's just, I guess, growing up hearing your voice and when back in the WCW days, it's just still mind blowing to me. Eric, I got warm to, but you is just a different level. But I wonder, I'm glad Eddie asked that question because actually I was going to ask you, what was one of the matches you wish you would have called in recent memory that you didn't get a chance to?
It was going back and looking at it was probably that one.
Really? Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah.
I think you would have a job with that too.
Yeah. So. I wouldn't have mind calling Flair's last match with Shawn Michaels, the I'm sorry, I love you,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That would have been pretty cool to call that one as well.
Definitely.
To be a part of it. And
okay.
So that would have been probably another one that I wish I would have been able to call.
All right. Well, I don't want to take up too much time, but I look forward to seeing you here in 2 weeks here in Dallas and Garland. We'll be there. Hopefully, I can get a picture with you and my daughter. So
you got it, Novius. Look me up, buddy. I hope I can hook up with you and be able to take a picture with your daughter.
Yeah, I'll get to you. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Thanks. Yo, you guys have a good one, man.
Okay, bye.
Let's keep it rolling, Zoel.
Wait a minute, Eddie. It's 2 places at once.
What? He's my guardian angel.
Okay.
Always watching over me.
Zoel.
It is very seasonal with that introduction. Thank you.
It's almost December. We got to wait a couple more days.
Well, Thanksgiving's already over. We can already get past that. Come on now.
All right.
Casio, thanks for keeping us all in line tonight. Tony, thank you so much for making time for us after the holiday and the busy schedule you've had. I do want to say this. I'll get a little cheesy, sentimental, and then I'll get to the question. I think for many of us, it's been kind of a very tough week for a lot of us because we're losing childhood heroes and we're getting used to that with, loss of Kevin Conroy, the voice of Batman, and then Jason David Frank here recently from the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger fame of things. So I know for me, I truly do appreciate the time that we do get to spend with you and ask you these questions with the voice of our childhood. So again, really want to just let you know how appreciative I am, at least.
Thanks, Joel. I appreciate you saying that. And time goes on, and we're going to lose. If you live long enough, you're going to lose a lot of your icons and a lot of your favorite people. So it's the way it is.
So I guess kind of piggybacking off of Denovius there and Eddie, when it comes to calling a match, nowadays, obviously with the bigger high def monitors, you're able to follow along perhaps a little bit better, a little bit clearer with what the audience is seeing at home. So through the years, maybe past or current, is there one match in particular that you're just like, you don't want to call it like a gimmick match, whether it's a cage or Falls Count Anywhere or hardcore? Is there one that you're just like,
Well, it obviously would have to go back to the late WCW era. Some of the things that Vince Russo booked was like, but I did it. I'm going to, there's never been a match, that I thought, I just don't want to call that match. But there have been some matches, especially back in that era, when I thought, okay, boy, you really got to make chicken salad out of this, right? So, and then I would see those as almost a challenge as the day went on. Can you make it sound great? And I think sometimes I took those matches and I was a little bit too over the top with them. I tried maybe too hard to sell them, and people were saying, what the fuck is he talking about? And then I go back and look at it now and I think, yeah, maybe so. But some, Judy Bagwell on a pole, right? How about that one? Does that stick in your memory for?
Oh, it does.
Ever? Yeah.
I was going to say it basically just comes down to whatever on a pole match.
Yes, right. Some of those, like, Vince Russo winning the world title when he came in, remember, with the Giants helmet on and a Giants jersey on or whatever that was. And some of those, I think, have been very tough to call.
All right. Thank you so much for your time.
Okay. I'm going to be just to piggyback on that. I really thought the Jay Leno match at Road Wild years ago when Jay Leno teamed with, I believe, Diamond Dallas Page. Was that right? I can't remember who they wrestled.
Correct.
It was Rodman and Hogan versus DDP and Leno.
Right. I really thought that thing turned out quite well. And his band leader, Kevin, whatever the guy's name is.
Kevin Eubanks.
Eubanks, right. Turned out to be a pretty damn good athlete and did some pretty good things on the outside. So that was one match that I thought, ugh. And then I was pleasantly surprised. Another one that I was very surprised about that I think turned out well was when Shaquille O'Neal appeared on AEW and went through the table.
Yeah.
That was very entertaining. Very entertaining. We just watched, and it's going to be coming out probably either tonight or tomorrow. One of our bonus shows on WHW Monday is the recent Jackass match between Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville. So we're going to watch that. And
have you seen it yet?
No, I saw it today. We recorded it today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, that match had me it had me laughing pretty hard. It really, really did. So it was entertaining. So sometimes, you
got to take it for what it is.
Yes, absolutely. Jesus.
Don't go in thinking it's, a WrestleMania, it's Shawn Michaels versus somebody.
Yeah.
It's a Jackass match, and we got what we wanted out of it.
Not everything is Harley Race and Ric Flair back in the old territory days. Yeah. Thanks for the question, bud.
All right, let's keep it going. My bald-headed brethren. Phil, what's up, buddy?
Not much, Cassio. How are you, sir?
Good. Thank you for joining us, man.
You're looking good as always. So I appreciate the baldness. Not much there. Tony, how are you today, boss?
Hey, what you say there, Big P? What's going on, brother?
Too much. Kind of a two-question part. Of the first question is, I know it's been, first off, I've been to 4 AEW shows, so I think it's been a good year for AEW.
Yep.
Time that we got out of Canada, so it was great to have your shows. One of the questions is how are you enjoying the promotion that you got kind of mid-August? Moving on up in A&W. And my second part question is, how crazy is it that you're still calling Sting matches in 2022?
Well, that's really crazy. The Sting part of it. Not only am I calling Sting matches, but he's doing this crazy shit. I don't know. I mean, it's like there are many times that I think I mentioned this before, maybe on a podcast or maybe here, that Sting and we did it recently. We did it at Full Gear. We just look at each other and freaking laugh. It's like, we're still here. It's like, my God, after all these years, we're still here. So it's very surreal to call a Sting match, especially when he comes out and does the stuff that he does. I mean, they went into the stands, obviously, and he jumped off the rail on top of Jay Lethal. And I'm thinking, fella, you go kill yourself. But if he hadn't killed himself now, he maybe never kill himself. But that's surreal, and that's great to be able to call that. My new job has put a lot of added pressure on me. So now Wednesdays aren't as easy as they were back not that long ago before the promotion. I would just show up Wednesday, be an announcer, and that was it. And now I've got to handle a lot of things. There's a lot of things that Tony Khan does not want to handle. And so I have to handle a lot of those, and be it talent relations or organizational things. And so it can be a very, very stressful day. And by the time Thursday rolls around, I'm ready to hop on that plane and get back home.
Oh, for sure.
Because it's been because we meet on Tuesdays, Tuesday nights, overnight. Sometimes I get to bed on Wednesday mornings, the Wednesday that you see a live Dynamite, I'll get to bed like at 5 or 6 a.m. But then I'll sleep till like 11 or noon and wake up. We got to be at the building by 1 o'clock. And then we work, pretty late then. And then there's a lot of things that I have just taken upon myself to do that I can. And we have a person that works for us who is our lawyer. And it's actually number 2 in the company. It's Megan, Mega Parek, who's our lawyer. And she's like one of the most wonderful people I've ever worked with. She's also the chief legal counsel for the Jacksonville Jaguars. So she's got a lot going on. And she and I talked recently that if you see a need in this company, don't even ask Tony, just do it, get it done. And that's kind of what I've been doing, a lot of organizational things. We went back and forth with the production truck today and one of the talents about how we're going to do this interview that's going to be, it's going to happen on Wednesday. And I had to kind of organize that. I'm kind of like the guy that says, okay, we've got a shortage of paper clips, right? Do you have paper clips? He's got paper clips. Do you need paper clips? Okay. You got him. He needs them. You two fuckers get together and talk it over.
Mhm.
And also, I'm also one that will get with wrestlers. And when two wrestlers have a problem with each other, I'm kind of like the person that talks to them. And that can be very challenging as well. And we do have a lot of problems. And they're minor problems. There's nothing that you've ever seen on TV. I know everybody's going to think, oh, boy, you do have a lot of problems. Just minor skirmishes, just things. And coaches want to do one thing. The wrestler doesn't want to do it. So here I come in. Say, okay, you fuckers, get the fuck together. We got a fucking TV show. And here's another thing I did recently. Some of our front office people came to me and says, do you see all the trash that the wrestlers are leaving behind? And I went, yes. We have a viewing area backstage, this big monitor, and they have chairs and everything. And they just leave their water bottles and everything back there. So I said, well, I'll take care of it. So before the Bridgeport, Connecticut, they're all sat down, get ready to watch Dark or Elevation or whatever it was. And I stood in front of the TV. I turned down and said, pardon me, excuse me, this is exactly how I said it, because I really don't pull any punches. I said, we appreciate you being here. And I said, you need to pick up your trash and your bottles before you leave. And I said, the old adage, your mother doesn't work here, right? And they all went, right. I said, well, your mother does work here, and she won't book you motherfuckers next week if you continue to leave your trash around. And I walked off. So I drop a lot of F-bombs to them. And so that's kind of what they understand it.
No, that's awesome, buddy. I appreciate taking the time. And like I said, have a good rest of the year. And if I don't see you, Merry Christmas.
Thanks, Phil. Same to you, brother. Appreciate the question.
Appreciate you, Phil. Good to see you, man. Let's go. Keep it going. Paul, where you at, brother?
Right here.
Paul looks like if Cash and Dax combined into one.
How about that? Mm-hmm.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Love tag team wrestling. Love what those two guys are doing.
You look like you're in a spaceship too, Paul.
Oh, yeah. Millennium Falcon background.
There you go, buddy.
Throw a little Star Wars in there for you, Tony.
There you go, buddy. Light speed.
Yeah. Cassio, first thing I say, dude, listen to the Dungeon of Doom episode with you and Eric. I have not laughed that hard in a while. That was amazing.
Thank you. It was easy. Comedy Gold was Dungeon of Doom. Wouldn't you agree, Tony?
It was. Thank you for that.
Dungeon of Doom, Comedy of Gold? Probably.
Yeah. All right, Tony. So I got a couple of questions for you. So out of a lot of the hosts on here, I know that, he's this great person now, and I've met him, but I've always liked him since the 80s. You've always been one of the kindest, I think, to Lex Luger. Going back to his 80s and just understanding that he came from a different background and all that. Yeah. So I got two Luger questions. Number one, why do you think he never was the guy for a long period of time with a title run? And number two, do you think he gets an unfair rap for his in-ring ability? Because I think he was way better than people give him credit for. I mean, he's not Bret Hart, but I thought he was great.
Well, he came up at a very tough time to where there were great wrestlers in the ring. And So I think that's why he got the bad rap. I think one of the reasons he never got the big run, I think if Lex could have cut a promo like a Ric Flair or a Dusty Rhodes, had that on-screen personality. If you watch Lex Luger's promos, some of them are pretty damn good. Now we are at the show that dropped on. Actually, here the video version that dropped today, and on WHW Monday, it's going to drop everywhere. The one that Conrad and I are doing is a TBS studio show, and Luger gave a tremendous interview. But his interviews were never the top tier interview like a Ric Flair could do, like an Arn Anderson could do, like a Dusty could do, like a Roddy Piper could do. I really think that if he was able to cut those interviews, he would have been a much bigger star. I listen, I don't care what anybody says. I get it. And I understand that Kenny Omega is probably the greatest worker. But if Kenny could cut a great promo, and he doesn't cut that many promos, but if he could cut a great promo and be a great talker, he'd be considered one of the greatest wrestlers of all time. Many people probably consider him that anyway. But in my mind, I think you got to be able to talk. So I think that's why Luger didn't get not to say he wasn't over, but didn't get the push that maybe he should have because he looked so good. And I agree with you, Paul. He wasn't. I think people shit on his work all the time, and I've seen much worse, much worse.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for taking my question, sir.
Right, no problem.
Thank you, brother. Let's keep it growing. Dave McClay, who I just found out, Tony does not know what grits are.
Well,
Dave. Hey, well, I know what they are. They're that thing in My Cousin Vinny, that thing. But what are they made of exactly? What the hell are grits?
They're kind of like that. Well,
somebody said sand, milk, and kitty litter today.
No, it's made of hominy, which is like a corn substance, right? Am I right here?
Yeah.
Yes. It's a corn. It's corn.
Okay.
We'll hook you up with some next time we're in town.
A little Southern hospitality?
Yeah.
With some grit. All right, cool. Thank you, Cassio. Tony, what I'm curious about, Tony, is what's in all your years of broadcasting and being an announcer, what's the worst injury you ever seen? And is it Sid breaking his leg, or was there something worse?
Yeah, it was Sid breaking his leg. I think that and the Buff Bagwell neck injury were pretty bad. Everybody remember the Buff Bagwell? Because that literally shut our show down for like 20 minutes.
I can recall he wasn't moving like at all, right?
Yeah. And see, we go back to, remember when Hangman got hurt recently and they had to end the match against Jon Moxley?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Someone got in touch with me and says, is he seriously hurt? And my original, and I didn't know, because by the time I got in the back, they had already taken him to the hospital. But my original thought was, it's not the neck, because had it been the neck, they would have taken a long time to move him. And they pretty much checked him out, put him on a gurney, and moved him quicker than they would have moved him had he had a neck injury. So I knew it wasn't a neck injury. But I think for sheer grossness, Sid Vicious is the one. But I think for serious injury, Buff Bagwell's neck injury was pretty damn bad.
Reasons like that is why I hate when people say, "Oh, wrestling's so phony." Like, tell that to those people who have been through that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. Well, Tony, thank you so much for your time, and I hope you had a great Thanksgiving at the household. And if I don't hear from you, or if you decide to do another Patreon watch along, Merry Christmas to you, sir.
Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care, Tony.
See you, Dave. Thanks, buddy.
We're going to try to do one before Christmas. So one more.
Oh, perfect.
And we got a watch along on WHW Monday coming up on Friday. Watch along of Rampage.
Is that this week?
This week, yeah. First one back in quite a while.
Very nice. All right, let's keep it going. Allison Faye in the house.
I'm in the right room.
Hello, good to see you.
Hey, Allison.
See you. Hi, Cassio. Hi, Tony. How are you?
How you doing?
I'm great. I'm great.
That's good. Glad to hear it.
Yeah. So my question is, of course, about the Yankees and Mr. Aaron Judge.
Yes.
What do you think our chances are?
Well, I would like to think they're great. I would think that bullshit with all the other free agents, let's keep him, right?
I mean,
that should be your number one freaking focus.
That should be your priority right now.
Yeah,
it should not be anything else.
Right. I don't know. What have you read? Who else is in the running?
I think the Giants are the front runner.
Really?
Yeah, Giants.
Yeah. Yeah.
Making a big push.
They're pulling out all the stops.
Yeah.
Bring them to the Bay, baby.
Yeah. So, I don't know.
That's bullshit.
I know.
Freaking
I know.
Giants. Freaking Giants.
I know.
You know, the Astros just signed Abreu.
Yep. I just saw
The
that.
White Sox. Yeah. So that's going to make them even stronger than they are.
I know.
So
Can't.
yeah.
Well, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you, but
All right.
I hope you had a good Thanksgiving.
I really did. Thank you.
Good. I'm glad. All right.
Always
Take care.
good talking to you.
Thank you,
Bye,
Allison.
Cassio.
Good to see
Thanks,
you.
sir.
Let's keep it going. An Instagram wrestling historian has joined us, Tony.
Oh boy.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Good, man.
What's up?
Appreciate you joining us.
Great. Mr. Shivani, I was wondering, at Starrcade 1990, instead of Ric Flair, who do you think should have been the Black Scorpion instead?
Well, you know, we went around and around and around about that one. I think I've told the story before many times that I'm not so sure, even like a week before we even knew who it was going to be, because there were so many discussions and arguments backstage and in the boardroom and everything about who is it going to be, who's it going to be. And finally, I think Flair said, fuck it, I'll do it. But I mean, it would have been pretty good if it had been someone from the WWE, you know, but that's even way before, obviously, the Monday Night Wars and all that. Couldn't have been Luger, because you probably would have been able to pick him out. Even, you know, even if you recall, if you go back to St. Louis, when he appeared, didn't he appear in like a gigantic egg and it kind of opened up or something opened up?
Yeah, some weird.
Some weird. And I remember as soon as it opened up and the fans saw the nose through the mask, everybody went, woo. I don't have, you know, that's a good question, because I don't even know who was on the roster back then to be a part of it. But I don't know. Good question. But I can just tell you that it was a very, very argued point about who it would be. And I think we finally settled on Flair, because Flair just said he'd do it. That was during the Jim Herd era too. So everything was a big clusterfuck. I mean, everything was. It was like, and it could, listen, I've gone through many bosses in WCW, and even I worked for Vince McMahon, obviously. I've worked for Tony Khan. But there's no question that the worst era to work in the front office was the Jim Herd era. He was fucking clueless. And, you know, Conrad did a thing here on Top Guy, or not here on Ad Free Shows, to where he interviewed Jim Herd. It was a 2-part interview. He went to, I don't know if you guys remember that. He went to St. Louis and interviewed him. And Conrad sent me the link to it. He said, I want you to watch this. I said, I ain't fucking watching it. He said, why? I said, I went through that shit with him before. I don't want to hear him talk. I said, he's an old man now. He can't be smarter than he was. He's got to be fucking dumber than he was. And he was dumb as shit. So I didn't even watch it, man. Wouldn't watch it. So
Yeah, I don't blame you. Thanks a lot.
I wish I had a good answer for you. I really don't know. That's a very good question.
He's dumber than he was.
He's got to be, right? I'm dumber than I was.
We can tell by the haircut. Ladies and gentlemen, let's keep it going. Bobby KF5 GTX.
Hey, Cassio, how you doing?
What's up, buddy? Appreciate you joining us.
Hey, good to be here. Good to be here. Tony, how you doing, sir?
Good, Bob. What's up, brother?
Good. What's going on? I hope you had a good Thanksgiving.
I did. Megan's not on here, but Megan came to the house during Thanksgiving, and Brooke and Patrick came to the house during Thanksgiving.
Okay.
And we all enjoyed Thanksgiving with, well, my family didn't scare them away, which is pretty good. And then we all drove up to Winston-Salem to do WrestleCade. It's my first one. That was pretty cool.
Nice. Yeah, WrestleCade looks like it was a good time.
It was.
Me being halfway across the country from there, I couldn't make it. But my question for you, when the NWO Wolfpack, when they debuted, what was your view on that? Was it because it just seemed to me more like a number one that it watered it down.
Yeah.
Of course, it had already kind of watered down by then anyway.
Yeah.
But also that maybe that the Wolfpack was kind of a face group.
Yeah.
And I kind of didn't get it, but I learned to love it after a while.
There were two types of NWO fans or fans that during the NWO era when it first came out. Fans that bought on to the fact that we tried to make it us against them. We were WCW and they tried to invade us.
Mm-hmm.
Then there were fans who just thought the NWO was so freaking cool that we were going to be NWO fans. That ran its course pretty quickly. And there's a lot of people that think, well, they just kept adding people to it and watering them down. By the time the NWO Wolfpack came around, it had really been watered down. And in hindsight, I don't know actual time frame. I don't know how long the NWO lasted from the time of its inception to the time it started getting watered down. But, you know, with wrestling, you've got to just do something different and do something different and do something different all the time, or it just gets stale.
Mm-hmm.
So I think probably the NWO Wolfpack probably came at a pretty good time, but things were pretty stale and they wanted to try to do something different.
Yeah.
And of course they wanted to sell more merchandise too. So they went to the, instead of the black and white, the red and black.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So. They started in the summer of '96, and I think it kind of ran its course by probably, I'd say, the end of '98. I just don't think that from the Finger Poke of Doom on, I don't think it was really the NWO that it once was.
Wasn't the Finger Poke of Doom January of '99 though?
Correct. January 4th, I believe. It was pretty close into the beginning of the year.
Right.
So, yeah. But, you know, about 2 years, I would say.
Yeah, maybe that's it. There's just so much they can do.
Yeah.
I know there was one time that Eric, and maybe Eric has mentioned this on his podcast, that Eric wanted to do an NWO show, a weekly NWO show.
Yeah, that was the what he had always said was the whole end game was to have a WCW Thunder, and then have NWO be on Monday Nitro.
Right. Well, to be able to do that, you've got to have a pretty big NWO roster to be able to do a weekly show. So that's probably why he expanded it. So
right. Well, good to hear from you, Tony, and looking forward to the WHW stuff coming up. And have yourself a Merry Christmas, brother.
Thank you, Bob.
Looking forward to it. Thanks, Cassio.
Thanks, Bobby. Appreciate you, brother. Let's keep it rolling. Coach Keith in the house.
Yo, what's up, fellas? Cassio, Tony. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving, man. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Did so. Hope you did.
It was great, man. It was really good.
So I'm from Philly, and of course, some of you guys know. And one of the good things, one of the slogans we have is "Snitches get stitches." So where I'm going with this is, we had a little ad-free show thing going on Saturday. And there's a person in here who, how can I say it, hates AEW very much. I'm not going to snitch on that person. You know, his name rhymes with Top Guy Freddy. But, you know, I'm not going to snitch on him. But it's funny that he doesn't like it, AEW. So my question comes from that, Tony. with all the shenanigans that's going on with AEW and all that other stuff. And congratulations on your new job.
Yeah.
My question to you is, well, all the outside stuff that you hear, maybe you don't, or you do, but all the outside stuff that you hear about how AEW is a mess and how's this and Tony Khan is that and whatever. Does it get to you? Does it do you sit back and go, shut the hell up? Or being inside, what's going on. You just said it. A lot of things are going on in there and it's much better than what people think on the outside.
Yeah.
So my question to you is, what the state of AEW, how do you feel about that? And how do you feel about outsiders complaining about AEW?
Well, first of all, I don't know if Top Guy Teddy, I don't know how much he bitched about us. Okay. But I'll let me tell you exactly what we talked about on the show that's going to drop on Wednesday. Conrad said that the Disco Inferno had tweeted out 95% of the guys and girls working today do not know how to get over. And my response to that is, how can a guy who was never over tell people how to get over? Okay. Fans are going to have their opinions. The only thing that pisses me off about fans is the fans that want to see us fail. That's just like, whoa. Those are probably people that, mistreat animals because they're just bad, mean people. I don't worry about what the fans say because they have no freaking idea of what goes on. And that's why when I talk to Conrad, I really don't like to talk about the behind scenes stuff because, first of all, it does no good, to try to validate their arguments or validate their bitching or even try to defend yourself. So we have this discussion all the time in the backstage area about so-and-so on Twitter said this. And I'm saying wrestlers will say that to me. And I'll say, don't read that fucking piece of shit, motherfucking no good, cocksucking, fucking piece of shit, motherfucking cocksucking, asshole wipe, no good, dick licking son of a bitch in motherfucking Twitter.
That's my handle.
Yeah, I knew that. I didn't want to get you pissed off by saying that. Because really, you just, sometimes people just like it. The only thing that really means anything are the TV ratings and the people that come to the arenas. And we have great fan response. We really do. And that should be and we have very good ratings. I know they've been down a little bit, but still for a live TV show, I think our ratings this week were 880 or something like that, up like 7% from last week. So I just look at it and roll my eyes because I know it's not as bad as people think it is. It's not. It really is not. It's tough at times to try to make things work in the backstage area because there's so much going on. I think a lot of times we're understaffed, but it's okay. Listen,
I'm glad to hear that.
AEW is not going to go anywhere. Okay,
I figure that.
One thing there's two things I know about wrestling. Number one is the WWE is a much, much bigger company than we are. They are a global force in entertainment. We're just a smaller wrestling company, a much smaller wrestling company, trying to find our way and give guys and girls a different place to go on a national level. That's number one. And number two, what I also know is that the Khans have more money than the McMahons. A lot more money. Okay. So that tells you how long we're gonna last and run this place, I think.
Well, thank you for answering my question. It bothers me, and it really bothers me sometimes because, like you said, when you go on Twitter and you hear about people, I see Disco's comments all the time also. So it's like, this guy can't wrestle or this guy can't get over or whatever. It's like, being one of the oldest people in this group, I remember the territories, and I love to go back to the territories where you had different people going to different spots and stuff like that. And we need more of that. You know, you need people to go to different places. And if we keep crapping on certain things, or I don't like this, I don't like that, I mean, what the hell? You know, it's like we're in this for fun, not to criticize every little thing, you know.
Right. I love the people who say can't get over. Wow.
Well, thanks. I appreciate it, Tony.
Thanks, Keith.
All right, Mike Whitaker, what you got, brother?
I am here. Hey, Tony, how you doing?
What's up, Mike?
So here's my question. When you guys found out Vince McMahon was out, Triple H was in, did AEW have like a meeting that like kind of saying, hey, shit's about to pick up?
No.
Like,
no, we didn't.
Y'all just kept y'all things going and
I think a lot of people thought that because Triple H was in, that there would be a great exodus of talent leaving us. I think many people thought that Malachi Black was going to leave. I think if you found out that was not the case, that was another one of those big rumors. But no, we didn't have a meeting based on that. You just got, again, you have to try to look and see what they do on a successful level, but you can't change your whole game plan of what you're doing based on what your other company does. You can't do that. I don't think.
So do you think they've been more successful with Triple H being in charge?
I can't answer that, Mike, because I don't watch him.
Fair enough.
So, I don't know. I can only tell you this. I have a lot of respect for Triple H. I always have. Not that much respect for Vince McMahon. So take that for whatever you want, but there you go.
That's fair for me. Yeah. I'm happy with it.
Yeah, there you go, bud. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
I would say, interestingly, talking to Mr. Brian James, Road Dogg, every week on my podcast, he almost has the exact same answer. And that was when he was wrestling and the wars were going on. He gets asked all the time, we didn't watch WCW. If you do, you're losing already.
Right.
We have to focus on us. We have a weekly show. We have to plan. We have storylines we're working on. And if you've got time to check out the other show, you're doing something wrong on your side. So, and like you said, are we going to peek at it and see what they're doing successful? People are in charge of that. But day to day, everybody involved, you need to keep focused on the finish line, because if you look back, they're going to catch up. That's the fact. So.
Yeah,
it's
and for me, the finish line is going to be my death, which who knows?
It's a long time.
Long time.
Cons will run out of money for that time. All right, we got 2 questions left, and we're going to wrap this thing up. We got Josh. He's had 3 questions stolen tonight, so hopefully he's thought of a good one. And if not, Tony, don't shit on him too hard. Everybody kept stealing his question all night.
I won't. Josh, do you know you look like the new coach for Auburn?
Really?
Yeah.
Shit, I'll take his paycheck.
$6.5 million a year. Absolutely, buddy.
I could fuck up any team and make that money. That's not a problem. That's the Huskers.
You're a Nebraska fan. You're used to that.
Listen,
that's exactly right.
There you go. Josh, you can't fuck up a team that's already been fucked up.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's true. Cassio, always great to have you, because we enjoy you. Appreciate and then Mr. Schiavone, my first time getting to visit with you. So
thanks, Josh.
Very honored.
Yeah.
I got to go to a Nitro back in. You actually mentioned the pay-per-view right before the Nitro I went to with the Jay Leno tag team match and all that. I was at the Nitro the next night in Rapid City. So that was my first and only Nitro. And then this December, I'm coming to Broomfield, Colorado to AEW Dynamite. So we're really excited for that. But as Cassio said, most of my questions have been answered. But was there a moment during WCW, either that you're sitting there announcing, or you saw backstage, you're like, fuck, we are screwed. This ship is going down.
Yeah. Well, I've told this many times, but I'll tell it again. When I first walked in the door of WCW after I left the WWE in April of 1990, I went, fuck, this place ain't going anywhere. And I say the old thing that, back in the day, I don't know if they still do it or not. When a company goes out of business and they can't pay its bills and it goes belly up, the sheriff goes and puts a padlock on the front door. And I always thought, man, the sheriff's going to put a padlock on the front door here, but they hung with it, and they went through Jim Herd and Kip Fry and Bill Watts, and then Eric came in and Hulk Hogan, and it extended it a lot longer than I thought. But I remember when it ended thinking, well, I saw this coming.
Right.
And then when Brad Siegel took over the company, it was very apparent he didn't give a shit about the company. So I knew that somewhere in there, I knew that. But I can also remember we had worked a show in, I think it was Long Beach, right before we were going to fly out to Australia for 4 shows in Australia, Brisbane, Sydney, and then Melbourne, 2 shows in Melbourne. And we were all sitting in the airport, and things were so bad, and everybody in the airport knew that the end was near. And this was like October or so of 2000. Everybody knew the end was near, and it was like surreal. We were like, so things are so bad, and we know the end is near, and the ratings are down, and they don't want us. TBS doesn't want us. This new regime doesn't want us. Why are they sending us to Australia for all places? And all the expense, but it was in the airport. It was in LAX that we were a bunch of us sitting around knowing that the end was near. That's the moment I remember thinking, it's over.
Yeah. Well, we're really glad, you were there for as long as you were, giving us great commentary. And now that you're back and, back in the driving seat and having some some control in the background, I think is going to be really good for the talent and all of us as well. So we really appreciate you. And I look forward to hopefully maybe bumping into you back in December. You never know.
You got it, buddy. Thank you, Josh.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, Cassio.
Thank you, buddy. Art G, where you at, brother?
Hey, Cassio. Thanks for squeezing me in. And Tony, thank you for being here, even though I hit the wrong time. But that's on me.
Now blame Cassio for that.
No, I just misread the time, so no big deal. I gotta ask, what do you think of this banning the shift rule in baseball for next year?
Doing what? What's the rule in baseball?
They're taking away the shift.
Oh, the shift?
Yeah.
I don't like it, but I mean, I saw it coming with all the analytics that are going on. Okay. I mean, next thing they're going to do is say that you're not if you look at the analytics, you can't pitch inside or you can't pitch outside. Listen, baseball to me is getting like NASCAR with so many rules. They basically are going to alienate its fan base. So I don't like it, but I see it. Yeah. Here's the deal: if you're a left-handed hitter and everybody shifts over to the right side of the infield, you're a professional hitter. Go to the left side, you fucking dumbass. Okay. Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Or why not just lay down a bunt?
I do know this from being in baseball for so long. When kids took batting practice, first part of batting practice was hitting the other way. And they would throw batting practice and the coach would say, okay, go to right center with it. Boom, they go to right center. Go to left center with it. Go to left center. Now I get it. It's not competitive pitching. I'm not trying to strike you out. But go the fucking other way with it. Hit it where there's not. All right? Who knows?
Oh, I agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
Thank you for your time, brother.
No problem, brother.
It's like if they banned the nickel defense on a pass situation in
exactly.
Football.
Yeah.
We're setting up to try to play the best way to stop you from scoring.
Right.
If that's a shift. That's a shift. That's on us.
Exactly.
All right, one more. Sorensen from the beach, apparently. James Sorensen, how are you, buddy?
What's up, brother?
It's cold. I'm sick of the cold. I'd rather be in a beach like this. But Tony, I'm truly grateful for you. Thank you for all that you do for everyone, from your own Patreon to AFS to everything. Truly grateful to know you. If you were to team up with one AFS host, who would that be, and who would your opponents be? From the AFS.
My partner would be would probably be Paul Bromwell, because he's so big. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And my obvious opponents would be Dave Silva and Cassio, only because they would just be so entertained to look across the ring at. They probably make us laugh so much that we'd lose.
You don't want none of the Luchadorables.
There you go.
You don't want none of us, son.
The Luchadorables? Is that what you guys are?
Yeah, we're the Luchadorables.
Yeah. Now, Bromwell's a big guy, man. I can't get over how big he is.
Yeah, you got size. You got
Yeah,
size with Paulie B.
He'd probably like be one of those guys you tag him in, he'd fall over on his and trip over on his own feet and fall face first on the mat.
He's the Yeti.
What would your tag name be?
Wow, you're hitting me with some vicious and delicious.
Are you delicious?
Of course I am.
Fuck yeah.
Vicious and delicious versus the Luchadorables. Let's make it happen. Top Guy Weekend.
Yeah, Top Guy Weekend opening bout.
But Tony, in all seriousness, thank you again. You're an inspiration to so many people. With me being the youngest Top Guy, you're incredible.
Thanks, Sorensen. I appreciate you, buddy. Thank you.
Thanks, buddy. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Tony, thank you, man. We know you're very, very busy. We appreciate you taking time out on a Monday night and hanging out with us for an hour, brother.
Thanks. We'll try to do this off night where it's not a Monday, and we hope to get a lot more people. Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Thanks, everybody. If you don't get to join us for the December one, Merry Christmas.
WHW Monday. And now